जब हम अपने अंदर झांकते रहते हैं, अपने आप को देखते रहते हैं, तो शायद उससे एक यू कैन स्टैंड अपार्ट एंड लुक एट योर ओन सेल्फ. इट कम्स naturally. Maybe there was a combination of some other things. Let me think what else. एक तो uh, I once read a book, thin book of stories, and it was dedicated to storytellers, story lovers, and story livers. So I could really relate to that. क्योंकि बचपन में बहुत सारी स्टोरीज हम सुनते हैं, बड़े होके भी सुनते हैं. स्टोरीज तो हमारे आसपास हमेशा रहती हैं. But what strikes me as interesting is there are stories I recall that sometimes my mother has told me. I think I'm quite sure she told me those stories, but she doesn't remember those stories. And I may have been told that story once, but I would remember, and I would remember if the story made sense to me, I would think of applying it in my own life, not just see it as entertainment. So, or stories may, there's always an alter ego. You can always put yourself in the shoes of the other person. So I think that also may be, uh, giving that, looking at yourself, observing yourself, while our angle may be coming there. I don't know. Saying I'm self-aware is a very big claim, so that's not something one should say easily. But the habit of looking at your own self, what did I just do, and why did I do that, and putting yourself apart and to observe that, and did I have choices? That's the other thing. If I want to have the choice of not just reacting automatically, but to be able to respond. uh, it's a bit like वो कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में जो लोग ओवर एंथू होते हैं, वो पहली चॉइस देने पे ही फटाक से बोल देते हैं यस यही है. और जो समझदार होते हैं वो वेट करते हैं, पहले चारों चॉइसेस आने दो. Maybe I can eliminate some, and let's be sure what is the advantage of saying so quickly. So if you apply it in your life, mostly we react to things, right? We have an automatic response to things, that triggers. If we were to just wait and look at our options and generate those options, but that again requires in some kind of a observation of your own self and your own mental processes, your own mental experiences. Because there's two दुनिया, दो दुनिया ना. एक तो बाहर जो है रियलिटी में, बट हमारा एक्सेस उसको नहीं है. हमारा एक्सेस है उसकी जो छवि हमारे मन पे पड़ती है. So we make some sense in our own mind, and the two need not match perfectly, right? Even science, that you see the sun rising in the east, setting in the west, and mankind has seen, the womankind, humankind has seen that forever. And the most obvious explanation is the sun is going around the earth. But it's much later that you say there's another explanation that can explain the same thing, right? So uh, I don't know. I think there's uh, different things.
Thanks for sharing, Bia. Do you feel like your context, your family, I think Auntie and Sonia Didi and Neha are also here. Do you feel that that kind of also played a very important role uh, in kind of creating this seed, creating the platform, creating the space for you to be able to step back and reflect and think about your choices, and then being able to choose them, with awareness in your life?
So definitely context comes from what's around you, and they all created that context. And if I may talk of some special things from uh, and unique sort of things of mine from my context, और सबकी लाइफ में होती है वो, but different होती है, same नहीं होती. So in my case it was a father who was really devoted to work, like work is worship for its own sake. And he didn't talk much about values, but I always saw him living by values, some, principles, and he just lived by them. uh, I really appreciated him. all my life, looking at him, silent person going about his work, almost like a क्या कहते हैं सांसारिक सन्यासी. That's how I saw my father. Uh, really good person. No religiosity at all. I mean, he would sit for the Diwali puja because it's like custom, whatever. But he would just sit. That was not his thing. And he would never talk about his views of God. Does he believe in God or doesn't believe in God? Those kinds of things were not there in this conversation. But once in a while, it came out. It would come out that there is some power, and that was enough for him to leave it as mystery rather than to take it as telling us what to do and we have to do that, and those who don't do that we have to judge them and correct them, preach to them. None of that. I saw him as a person who lived a life of spirit. So if we go to the fundamental meaning of the word spiritual, it's a life of the spirit, not just matter. Right? I saw him as someone like that, but never talking of religion, never talking of God. So that's an important persona in my life. My mother was another very important persona in my life. Is my mother, I saw her going out to volunteer, and none of my other, you know, her generation people were doing that in our extended family. And why was she volunteering? Because my sister was special, and she got introduced to the world of special children. Uh, and this is like my sister was born in 1962, so in the 60s, to be introduced to the world of special children when it was nowhere in our family was like really made our family stand apart. Um, and by the time I was born and जैसे कहते हैं होश संभाला, तब तक it was already very normalized. And what was normalized? What was normalized is that my father goes to work, my mother goes to work. My father earns from his work, my mother does not earn money from her work. She maybe earns blessings, she maybe earns joy, she maybe earns meaning, but doesn't earn any money. My father and my mother take their work equally seriously. There's no difference. So for me, the distinction between, you know, money is what makes work work. You know, that distinction was, uh, I mean, there's a difference between intrinsic value of work and the rewards you get for work. And the rewards are of so many kinds. That was there. Now, of course, I think it's not just the external experience that makes you who you are for anybody. It's how you make meaning of it internally. In fact, we use this word experience in two ways, and there's a need to make a distinction between the two. Why are words there at all? अभी पीछे अनिशा भी पहले बात कर रही थी. Words are windows. It's somebody else's poem, and I really like it because it says words are windows and they're walls. Right? Sometimes they do the job of window, as in they connect, and sometimes they do the job of walls, as in they disconnect. So we have to be careful with words, right? So, but one of the uh, benefits of language is you can make distinctions through language. It helps you make distinctions, right? And so let's look at the word experience. Uh, Two people, और ये तो मैंने कहीं story की तरह ही सुना था. As I said, I'll share some stories here because stories are something that I've carried, and they also people enjoy them. So it's a little story I read at some point or heard at some point long back, and I thought it was quite profound what it tells us about ourselves as human beings. There were these two brothers, and this brother, one of them was like so fond of drinking. वो सुबह से उठ के मतलब फर्स्ट थिंग ही वुड ड्रिंक एंड आफ्टर लिटिल व्हाइल ही टेक अ ब्रेक टू ड्रिंक एंड नशे में रहता था मोस्टली. सो किसी ने पूछा कि आप हाउ डिड यू बिकम सो, आप तो सारा टाइम हर वक्त नशे में, कभी वही नहीं है शुद्ध के क्या कर रहे हैं. एंड ही सेड क्योंकि मेरे फादर भी ऐसे ही थे, वो भी सुबह शुरू कर देते थे, तो मैंने भी देखा और मेरे को भी आदत पड़ गई. So that man happened to meet his brother, who was a teetotaler. So, but your father was like that and your brother is like that, so how come you're a teetotaler? This is because my father and brother were like that. I saw what's the, they put themselves in situations where they're a laughing stock. They don't want to, they have their own dignity, but when you've drunk, you're in these, like find yourself in these situations all the time. So I decided it doesn't make sense. And the drink gets you over, right? It takes you over at some point. So I said, I will stay away from it. Now, think about the two brothers, exactly the same experience, but a different meaning they draw of it. And both meanings are completely logical if you think about it. There's nothing illogical in what the first person says, and there's nothing illogical in what the second person says. So life offers you many logics from the same experience. What makes someone choose one and another person choose another? And to capture this idea, I thought we had to coin a new word. So I coined a new word. I've never heard anybody use it. So I think अभी मेरा ही उस पे क्या कहते हैं वो intellectual property है और वो है imperience. So you may have common experience, but you have individual experiences, right? What you may, that's also called experience, right? ये मेरा experience है. So it makes it very internal when people use the word. But that doesn't capture the outward thing. So I'm not sure. Of course, the context gives you many things, but the meaning you make of it, of course, people around you, how they make meaning also helps you. So one thing I noticed in my mother is she had unusual, uncommon meaning she made of things that situations she found herself in. Take
Mm.
my sister example itself. So I learned a lot of, as I grew up, I learned that a lot of, parents of special children were ashamed of that, especially at that time. We're talking the 60s, 70s. अभी तो चेंज आया है, बट उतना भी नहीं आया जितना अगर हम सोचें.
Right.
I'm sure there are a lot of families who will have, if they have a special child, they are not fully comfortable with that fact or with that situation.
Mm.
And so they try to avoid that child coming out and meeting others. थोड़ा दबा के रखो, छुपा के रखो. In my house, I saw that wasn't the case at all. My mother would put Sonia right in front, and there was no bichara, there was no hum bichare, ye bichari, nothing. Right? There was real. I mean, these words have all come in later. Now the word is diversity,
Mm.
right? But that is how my mother actually lived it. She didn't have those words.
Right.
Maybe that helped. I
Mm.
can only guess. Maybe that helped to say, hey, wait a minute. सारी दुनिया इस तरीके से इसका मीनिंग बनाती है, लेकिन मेरी मदर इस तरीके से मीनिंग बनाती है. या मेरे फादर, आई जस्ट शेयर विद यू हाउ अनयूजुअल ही वाज,
Mm.
वो इस तरीके से मीनिंग बनाते हैं, एंड ही इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द अदर. सो एटलीस्ट वन थिंग इट प्रूव्स कि there can be many ways of making meaning.
Mm.
So why should I be trapped in what the others, or let's say majority, tells me that this is the only meaning you can make of it?
Mhm.
Let me think a little bit more about it and see what else gets generated, what else gets created.
Mhm.
And that's interesting. New ideas come and say, wow, connecting the dots and saying, wow, what a beautiful way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Another option that
Mhm.
nobody has noticed. I mean, we all love to, just as we love to discover places to holiday that nobody has been before.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
a place to visit, a way of
Mhm.
looking. Maybe that played a role. I don't know.
Mhm. Thank you. But what you shared about how do you make sense of any experience, I feel that's so important as a practice, uh, as almost like a muscle to be developed. And the word that we've been using in Youth Lines for that is what we're using is inner work. That जो भी आपके साथ हो रहा है, आप उसका सेंस कैसे बना रहे हो, आप उसको समझ कैसे रहे हो, देख कैसे रहे हो, और उसके बेसिस पे आप कैसे चॉइस या रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हो. And it, like the way you explained it, it is really beautiful that it definitely supports in how we respond to the external situations, external challenges, external stimulus. However, one of the things that sometimes I am questioned about, or sometimes I jostle with, is that sometimes the inner work, the process of making sense of things, making meaning out of things, comes in tension with expanding one's external work. For example, if you want to create a larger organization, so you've got to not observe too many patterns, because patriarchy will show up there, some group dynamics will show up there. And if you are, at least I feel that if one is engaged in inner work, one notices those patterns, and takes time and then responds effectively, uh, in however one feels called to. So this tension between the inner work and a sense of expanding the external work, uh, do you see sometimes they are in tension with each other in your life? If yes, how? And if no, how do you see that?
So I think with the reality of time being finite, uh, on that singular dimension, this tension is there. This expanding external work and expanding inner work, right? Because you pay attention to one thing, you have to take it from somewhere else, that time from somewhere else. But that's single dimension thinking. In layered thinking, you may even question what is the real nature of one's external work. What is it that one's really trying to do beyond scale, right? You can scale up something, uh, and if it's not something that's helpful, it's a bit like between direction and speed. Direction has to be more important, right? You can't say speed is more important. So scale is a bit like speed, and direction is somewhat analogous to inner work. So uh, in that sense, it, I think I think both are true at the same time. That singular dimension is true. It has definitely limited me from looking at Manzil as many branches. I constantly see, and now that Anisha works with me, she knows this. So much to do in one Manzil that uh, I feel it little bit like ये तो ढंग से हुआ है नहीं, ये छोड़ के और बनाने चले, राइट? अधूरे अधूरे खूब सारे बुत बना दिए, इसकी बजाय एक को तो ठीक करो. So that happens because of this, all this kind of thinking all the time, and finding, um, and going deeper and looking at what needs to happen, what really needs to change in people, not just externally but internally. What kind of a human being we want to, what kind of an environment we want to create, from which what kind of a human being should emerge, could emerge. Those are the kind of questions. If you think too much about, then it, on that single dimension thinking, yes, it does stop you from doing that external work. Um, but there's another way of also looking at it, uh, which is it's not your work to do alone. There's so many people who'll do it, right? Uh, I also think of, um, so yeah, the scale thing in Manzil context, if it is happening, whatever is happening because of that deep work itself. Because then they go out and they create more. I'm fond of sharing one kind of quotation, not a quotation really, it's a line I read somewhere, that I think captures it well, but it's also a bit of a, you know, uh, you can even think of it as a little convenient thing to say. But just look at the point of it, and I've used this before. If you count the number of seeds in an orange, You can maybe count all of them without missing any. But you can never count the number of oranges in a single seed. So, in a human context, where every human is a universe, scale has possibility of showing up in a very different way than in the context of mechanical machines, where everything is inert and only one sort of power giving thing is creating that. So think about it, how much we all think of scale in that mechanical way, and we create scale in that mechanical way, right? Uh, so that's another way of looking at it. Um, so with that other way, I might take up the example of someone like the Buddha. The Buddha himself, and I was reading this long back, I was reading this book by Thich Nhat Hanh, biography of the Buddha, in which how after he got married, and I don't know what are the sources, where did he get it, but they, as prince and princess, were with a lot of compassion that they had. We know the story of Buddha or Siddharth Gautam with his cousin Devvrat, where Devvrat shot a swan, shot matlab arrow, bow and arrow, उड़ते हुए स्वान को उसने मारा और वो बुद्ध के पास जाके गिरा, ओ सॉरी सिद्धार्थ के पास जाके गिरा स्वान. And Siddharth, you know the story? It's a very beautiful story. And this is a little off track. The story is not so important. So let me stop that. You go search that story. Swan and the Buddha, Siddharth. Anyway, so the what that story really shows is the amount of compassion even Siddharth had before he became Buddha. Just as a little child, maybe 10 years old or I don't know, 15, when his cousin Devvrat shot like शिकार में उसने एक हंस को मारा, लेकिन सिद्धार्थ का इंटरेस्ट ये था कि मैं कैसे इसकी मरम पट्टी करूं, इसको बचाऊं, राइट? उसको शिकार में इंटरेस्ट नहीं. So you can imagine a person like that having grown up and found you know, he got married to Yashodhara, who was a princess, and she was also like that. So in Thich Nhat Hanh's book, both these guys had, well, both these people had gotten involved in what we would today call social work, and they were actually, you know, doing, because they were not so into the sort of enamored by the things in the palace. So they were doing what? How can we help people in pain? Because people who have compassion and before that empathy, they feel the pain of others. It feels like your own pain, right? And so if you feel pain, then you do something about it, right? So if you feel compassion, you do something about it. It's almost like automatic motivation comes. So that's what they were doing. And from doing that, the Buddha chose to leave the palace, leave that work, and go into the forest to just kind of look for an answer to why is there suffering and is there a way out of it. That was all he was interested in. He was not interested in the miracles of siddhiyan log pa lete hain. He was not interested in a new doctrine and creating a new religion. In fact, Buddhism is very interesting. It shouldn't be even called a religion because they don't even answer the question if there's God, right? So you're talking of something as religion and there's no God. Uh, so and spent years in trying to figure that out. That seems like too much inner work, no? Too much inner work and sacrificing all the external work. And look at us talking about him 2,500 years later and having so much influence of that. So this is, you know, in a linear sense, whereas on this graph, you know, this goes up, and the graph is like this. Reality is not such simple graphs, and we all play our roles. Uh, I also enjoy this, since I'm anyway talking about some of the metaphors and visuals that you know, I feel I connect with. Um, and this came in Kabir poetry. In Kabir poetry, he talks of an inverted tree. An inverted tree where the branches are towards the ground and the roots are towards the universe, right? And and in fact, in one uh, bhajan, he sings, अंबर में पेड़ बिरच का वहां झूले निर्गुण का लड़का जिसकी जड़ का पता न पावे खेज मरेगा संसार. इन द स्काई, अंबर में एक पेड़ बिरच का, बरगद का पेड़, and we know बरगद का पेड़ is like a big canopy and big root system, right? So let's say there's a lot of, so tree can be seen as a nice metaphor for external and internal work, visible and not visible. The canopy is visible and the root system is not visible, it's under the soil. And another metaphor that I kind of uh, played on a little bit more. So imagine, so think of a healthy tree. I think in a healthy tree, the canopy and the root system will mirror each other. If the root system is really big and the canopy is not so big, then remember the leaves are the factories. The food is being made in the leaves. So not enough leaves to really, nourish and give nutrition to that tree. And if the leaves canopy is much bigger and the root system has shrunk, which is the inner work, right? That tree may look great and big, but एक तूफान और tree उखड़ जाएगा because the root holds it, right? So it makes sense to balance out the two. But in the Kabir metaphor, it is inverted. So what does that mean? What that means is what appears, one of the meanings, of course, he never explains. So it is up to us to take whatever meaning we want. It's really like poetry ke maze yahi hai. Make whatever meaning. So the meaning that I hear from people who are in this and that makes sense to me is that जो बाहर का काम है वो actually सिर्फ इस धरती का काम है. It's very material, right? So the leaves, the canopy is actually inverted. It's just here. Whereas the inner work is the roots, which is really universal, which is what really endless. जिनकी जड़ का पता ना पावे, जिसकी जड़ को पता नहीं कर सकते, खेज मरेगा संसार. ढूंढ ढूंढ के संसार मर जाएगा लेकिन इसकी जड़ तक आप पहुंच नहीं सकते. It goes so, what should I say, deep or endlessly. And interesting thing is there is no up and down in the universe, right? ये तो हमारे दिमाग में. In the universe, there's no such thing as up and down. So anyway, I don't know how useful this is, but these are things that go on in my mind when I think of things.
Yeah, thank you for reminding and placing it in this way. I mean, and beautifully said. Thank you. Anisha has a question.
Yeah, I think where your sharing took me on my train of thoughts, taking a minute to come back and absorb what you shared. I think reflect and absorb. I think something that I always heard from you was like two children came to you. You had not planned it, and that's how Manzil started. And while what you had planned for yourself is you wanted to go in a village, do farming and live a more simpler life. And yeah, I think आपने फिर इतनी कमिटमेंट के साथ और इतने मन से अपने मंजिल इतने इतने साल आप अभी भी इतना इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं मंजिल में रन कर रहे हैं टू शो अप टू दैट एवरी डे. I think it's just beautiful to see. Similarly, I used to hear you say that maybe marriage is something that's not in your cards, like you wouldn't want to do it, and love happened to you, and I think that's another offering of life came your way. And so did fatherhood. I think it's बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि when I see you, so involved as a father with Alaya. I think she's 6 months old now. एंड या आई थिंक ये सब देखकर मुझे ये भी लगता है कि जैसे जैसे लाइफ अनफोल्ड हो रही है, जो चीजें हमने खुद के लिए नहीं प्लान करी होती है, खुद सोची नहीं होती है, जब वो शो अप करती है लाइफ में, सो हाउ डज वन accept changing values, or changing ideas of own self, uh, in order to surrender to life in such a way that you can show up to it, with utmost love, commitment, and that I see visible in your journey. And how has it happened for you? It would be lovely to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, things haven't played out the way I imagined, but uh, as I uh, honored what was happening, uh, new imaginings, there was space for new imaginings. And again, it didn't exactly happen that way. And I think this is true for everyone. ऐसा तो कोई भी नहीं है जो वो सोचता है वही होता है. और इनफैक्ट अगर कोई इससे खूब परेशान होगा कि जो मैंने सोचा वही होना चाहिए, नहीं हुआ, तो that's not okay, that's not acceptable, whatever is, isn't that a bit sort of over evaluating yourself, as if you uh, I read this line, long back in a book. I also remember lines from books. I don't remember ever मैंने खाना क्या खाया था आज लंच में लेकिन और मैंने उसने क्या कपड़े पहने थे वो मुझे याद नहीं रहता, लेकिन कुछ मैं अच्छा पढ़ता हूँ मुझे हमेशा याद रहता. तो there's this book I read long back when I was in college called Notes to Myself by Hugh Prather, and in that there was this line that from now on I will dot dot dot, from today I will dot dot dot, as if I'm wiser today than I will be tomorrow. Yeah. uh, it's a little over evaluating yourself, overconfidence. Okay, I already know what's good for me. Do we really know? Do we really know what's good for me? I read another line once, again long back. It said, there's a time to make things happen, and there's a time to let things happen. And again, it made a lot of sense to me because there's uh, we all have limited sense of the whole, and without knowing the whole, can we really take good decisions even for ourselves? I forget about whether they're good decisions for anyone else or for the larger society. Can we do it? There's also this line, this is, be careful what you wish for, you may get it.
Yeah, but I'm sure, I mean, like, there would be, I mean, just that transition is often, I feel like a, difficult process. कुछ inner tussle तो चलता ही है अपने अंदर जब हम किसी भी transition के through जा रहे होते हैं. So anything that showed up for you in those tussled moments?
So I'll say another line. Um, when one door closes, we get so upset and keep beating on that door that we don't even notice other doors opening up. So what shows up when any path is blocked is some other path. It's always true for everyone. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you must take the other path and not persist with the older path. But life gives you there's no room for formula in life. कि ये formula लगा दो और ये बढ़िया चलेगा. Because there are enough stories that say कि he tried something for 20 times, but he kept doing it, and the 21st time he succeeded. Right? So persist. Don't give up. There are stories of that. And there are also stories of this is something he wanted to do, but that didn't happen. So instead of crying, he looked at what else opened up and walked on that path, and something beautiful emerged there. Now, if you try to figure out which of this is the right way to live your life, then you're asking the wrong question. Right? There are times when you have to persist, and there are times. So in a way, I'm persisting with Manzil, right? You can see this, and in a way, I'm not persisting with my old ideas because something else showed up, which was beautiful. What showed up at the time that I wanted to go farm in Gadwal, And I'd already started volunteering with an NGO there called Trees for Life, because I thought if I'm with someone, then I will learn more about the area. And sure enough, I mean, I got a lot of understanding of the issues there, difficulties, what kind of work one should do. And I was going there a lot those days. But something you don't want, I kind of got stuck in Delhi trying to sort out some very mundane affairs of the family. Of course, they're important for the family, but they're kind of mundane. They can't be defining your life. That happened. While I was dealing with that, the the two children I met came home, and they just took my heart away. You know, I had to honor that had showed up, right? So it was very natural to do that. And farming was always an option. I can do it later. So I just pushed it away. I never said I'm never going farming. In fact, for 15 years, I kept saying Manzil is stopgap. Guys, anytime I'll get up and go and I'll start farming because that's my real dream. And how did that break? वो भी बड़ी interesting story है. I was always saying पहले तो जमीन ढूंढूंगा फिर करूंगा जमीन चाहिए ये वो. And I even went looking few times. Once I stopped going volunteering with that NGO, then also I would go. Uh, but then some land showed up in my life, like just waiting for it to be sort of go and live there and do it. Very convenient. और देख के आया और वापस आके I didn't. I mean, I loved it being there, but being back in with the Manzil children, I never missed it. And I didn't go there for the next, I think, 6 months or something. Now, that was something that told me something about my own self, which was that this is a great idea in your head, but what your whole body and existence is responding to is what you're involved in right now. So drop it. So, like a snake skin, which is no longer useful, it just sort of slips out of it. I dropped that idea, right? And as my professor recently said, it's farming of another kind. He said farming of souls. So yeah, that again sounds good. Those words sound good. I don't know. It's things. Life has been good. Good things keep happening even when there's a blockage. So the mundane matters that stopped me in Delhi, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have met these two children and Manzil wouldn't have happened. Who knows what I would have done in farming? Maybe I would have failed utterly, right? And after 10 years of trying my hand at it, come back and say, Bhaiya, mere se farming nahi hoti. And maybe been a very disappointed and disillusioned man and with no energy. Who knows? There's a, there's a, again, I'll tell you stories that have always had an impact on me when they made sense. So there was a story I'd heard when I was a child about this Raja और उसका बड़ा प्यारा मंत्री जो हमेशा उसके साथ रहता था हर चीज में. और मंत्री की आदत थी कि वो हमेशा ये बोलता था कुछ भी हो जाए कि जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. और बड़ा वाइज था, राजा को अच्छी काउंसिल देता था, उससे सब कुछ अच्छा होता था. राजा वॉज रियली फॉन्ड ऑफ इट, वुड ऑलवेज कीप हिम नेक्स्ट. अब एक दिन क्या हुआ, गलती से राजा ने एक तलवार को चेकआउट करते हुए अपनी उंगली उसकी कट गई, राजा की. मतलब पूरी कट गई, कट के अलग हो गई उसकी. That's like, it's not a small injury. It's like I've lost my finger forever. बड़ा बहुत दुखी हुआ. He was like really feeling terrible and bad. और मंत्री जी को बताया, looking for some empathy. And मंत्री जी ने अपनी philosophy मार दी कि जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. राजा आग बबूला हो गया, बोला मेरी उंगली कट गई है, तुम कहते जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. देश निकाला दे दिया उसको, तभी एग्जाइल पे भेज दिया इमीडिएटली. रिडिकुलस, कैसा आदमी है. और एनीवे बड़ा दुखी रहा राजा कई दिनों तक. फिर उसको धीरे धीरे टाइम हेल्प्स यू हील फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग. उंगली ब्रेक और हार्ट ब्रेक वट एवर इट इज, धीरे धीरे थोड़ा सा ठीक हुआ. उसने कहा चलो मैं शिकार पे जाता हूँ, थोड़ा मन ठीक होगा. शिकार पे गया. शिकार पे he got separated from his soldiers. Anyway, he liked to go away from them. और उसको कुछ लोगों ने पकड़ लिया. And this is how I heard the story, so it's a bit stereotyped as well. But anyway, that's not the key point of the story. Usko, that was a tribe that had this custom of sacrificing, humans to the Devi. So they caught the Raja and said, इसकी sacrifice करना है अभी. उसको ले गए, पूरा 2 घंटे की पूरी ceremony हुई. He's like that bakra who knows he's going to be cut very soon. So he's in fear constantly and facing death. And उसका सर रखते हैं उसके ऊपर और ऊपर से तलवार से काटने वाले होते हैं कि that man notices कि इसका उसकी उंगली नहीं है. तो अरे इसको तो हम नहीं बलि नहीं चढ़ा सकते, क्योंकि अगर इसकी बलि चढ़ा दी तो देवी और नाराज हो जाएगी कि तुमने एक इनकम्प्लीट आदमी को पकड़ के मुझे चढ़ाई. ये तो कंप्लीट होल आदमी होना चाहिए. और उनकी कोई जाति दुश्मनी तो थी नहीं राजा से. उन्होंने कहा भाई तुम आजाद हो, तुम जाओ, तुम हमारे काम के नहीं हो. जस्ट लेफ्ट इट. तो राजा बेतहाशा दौड़ा कि कैसे यहाँ से निकला. जान बची तो लाख उपाय, लौट के बुद्धू घर को आए. किसी तरह वो वापस पहुंचा अपने राजमहल में. सैनिक मिल गए, वो लेके आ गए, राजमहल पहुंचा. द फर्स्ट थिंग ही डिड वाज मंत्री को ढूंढ के लाओ. मंत्री ने ठीक बोला था, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. एक उंगली गई और पूरी जान बच गई. रियली वर्थ द सौदा, इज वर्थ इट. भेजो मंत्री को ढूंढ के लाओ. मंत्री को ढूंढ के लाए. मंत्री के इतने दिनों में फटे हाल हो चुके थे. वो बहुत ही बुरी कंडीशन में था, फैमिली से सेपरेटेड था, 10-15 दिन हो चुके थे, पर उसको ढूंढ के ले आए वो. और मंत्री को वहां लेके आए. तो राजा ने बोला, पहले तो उसको बहुत थैंक किया कि तुमने बिल्कुल सही बोला और तुम्हारी विजडम को मैं नहीं समझा, आई एम सॉरी अबाउट इट, लेकिन यू आर रियली राइट, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. मुझे अब रियली समझ में आ गया, अब मैंने इंटरनलाइज कर. लेकिन एक क्यूरियोसिटी रह गई. तुम ये बताओ, मेरे लिए तो फायदा हो गया कि मेरी उंगली कटी, तुम्हें क्या फायदा हो? व्हाई डिड यू सफर? तो मंत्री बोला, महाराज मैं हमेशा आपके साथ चिपका रहता था ना. अगर आपको छोड़ देते और वो मुझे बलि चढ़ा देते, अगर मैं आपके साथ होता तो मेरा देश निकाला भी तो अच्छा ही हुआ ना. तो वो पंच लाइन इसकी बड़ी बढ़िया है, राइट. तो ये कहीं मेरे अंदर आई थिंक है, पूरा नहीं है. मुझे भी गुस्सा आता है जब मेरे हिसाब से चीज नहीं होती, बट ये रिमाइंडर भी आता है कि हाँ शायद अच्छा है. There's also the Chinese story. You may have heard the Chinese story with the same story, similar story. नहीं सुनाता, लंबी हो जाएगी. शशांक ने अनम्यूट कर दिया अपना.
I wanted to ask another question related to this, because
Okay.
again I've heard this alive in many of us young people कि doubt आता है बहुत. तो आप जैसे जीवन में कुछ हुआ, आप respond कर रहे हो, there's a certain time when you have a lot of conviction कि yes, this is the thing that I want to commit my time to. But then there are moments when there are so much self doubt. कोई कुछ कह नहीं रहा, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, but लग रहा है क्या मैं सही कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ. तो क्या विभूति कह रही, she wants to hear the Chinese story. So were there times in your life where you were like there was a lot of self doubt, और था तो कैसा समय था वो, और कैसे आप मतलब उससे engage करते थे? Also I want to let everybody know कि in another 5 minutes we would like to kind of stop talking, like me and Anisha would like to stop asking questions to Ravi Bhaiya, so we'll open up the space for everybody to ask whatever they want to ask. But before that, doubt पे अगर कुछ आपका thoughts हो या experiences हो.
ठीक है, मैं इसको शॉर्ट ही रखता हूँ. I know I go on and on. या देखो,
Where your
को आते हैं
voice is
at
breaking.
different points. This
Is it
is
breaking?
the
at
man na
other people's
emotion.
Ravi Bhaiya,
Either chal
I think till Ravi Bhaiya joins back.
I'm back. Sorry, it threw me off. Yeah, so I don't know where. Okay, I'll just start. So yeah, I was just saying doubt हमेशा आते हैं और कभी भी आ जाते हैं. But the benefit of watching your own self is that you can see that mind is up to its tricks again. You know, फिर कर रहा है. And you don't really need to uh, fall for that trap. It helps you be less. It's a bit like if you're lost in a movie, totally lost, तो आप सारी इमोशन फील करोगे उस मूवी की, और आपके साथ हो रहा होगा जो वहां हो रहा है. पर जैसे आप ये रियलाइज कर लोगे, वॉचिंग द मूवी ओनली, रियली एंजॉइंग इट एंड बीइंग इन इट, इमर्स्ड इन इट, अगर आप ये एंजॉय कर लो, ये रियलाइज कर लोगे बीच में, इट्स जस्ट अ मूवी, तो सडनली उसका जो आप पे प्रेशर है वो रिलीज हो जाएगा. आपको फिर इतनी वो परेशानी नहीं है. अब डायरेक्टर ने सब संभाला हुआ है, डोंट वरी. हीरो काफी मुसीबत में जा रहा है, बट हिंदी फिल्म में एंड में सब ठीक ही होगा, तो वी डोंट नीड टू वरी. जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है वाली कहानी. You can bring that. So yeah, I think knowing that doubt is one of the things, one of the tricks played by the mind, helps reduce the effect. And one of the other things that I think has worked for me a lot is I used to always, wonder about our place in the universe, the Earth's place in the universe, life on this planet. So look at that scale also a lot. And clearly, if you look at that scale, we're just a speck of dirt and smaller than a speck of dirt in that vastness of that universe. And of course, everything that we say is valuable, important, is happening, on this little speck. Yeah. How does it matter? Right? In the broadest sense, life is empty and meaningless. Right? So then what's the purpose of life, and what's this really about? I think we have to recognize that as sapiens, I love to use that word for us human beings now, for our species. I sometimes call a lion little sapien. वही चीजें कर रही है जो सारे sapiens की problem है. Little sapien. So yeah, as sapiens, we seek meaning. It's like part of our design that we need to have meaning. We absolutely need it, right? Have you guys read Man's Search for Meaning? Those who haven't, you must. Viktor Frankl's. It's a thin book. It's really an amazing book. Anyway, so because we need this meaning, we make it. It doesn't already exist. We create it, right? Now, I found, this is how I look at it. I found meaning in offering up my unique gifts to make the world a better place. Right? Whatever my personality is, or dispositions are, or inclinations are, I'm offering that up to make the world a better for who, again, in the way I can perceive it is for others, right? It's again my own perception, right? Now, having experienced it, this meaning I would actually recommend to everyone, that find meaning in offering up your unique gifts to the world. And when you connect with that the doing of it, and the instant rewards you get from doing, I think it has always worked to renew and rejuvenate my own conviction and my own seeing value in what I do. It may be small, but everything is small as we started this whole session today, compared to something else. And everything is bigger compared to something else. So what does it mean to say something is small? The biggest scaled up thing is small compared to something else. And the smallest thing is bigger than something else. So this is always going to be a relative thing.
Thank you so much, Priya. I mean, we had thought of some other themes. Yes. But
Ravi.
Yes, Shashank bhai, I have a question. Can I
please
go?
go ahead. Yes.
Yes. So first of all, thank you, Ravi bhaiya. It's lovely. But for me, I think this was something which I needed from a long time, and I believe universe has sent me this satsang for today. So I'm very grateful for that. And my question is, uh, Vibhya, that what happens is that since childhood, our programming has been such that everything that I think and do of and try to aim for uh, has a reward on the outside. And I don't know how. And I've recently also started hearing that reward should come from within and you should have your own passion and all of that. So I am in a state of dilemma where I do not understand, because the programming is also very strong and I cannot leave that entirely, but I also want to change. So this is a very difficult phase, and if you can tell me a little bit of how to deal with it and how to go about with it.
Hmm. Yeah. So the good thing is that it's other humans who've done the programming, right? And we humans too. So then we can reprogram. The difference is that there it's a collective, and so many people are together. The culture is programming as a together thing, not as individuals. And here we might feel sort of helpless in front of a culture. But think about it, are we really so helpless in front of our culture? We are constantly challenging it, all of us. None of us follow exactly what the culture tells us, right? We do challenge it. The main thing is to recognize which are the areas that are important to challenge it and do our own programming. Now, one is what is the reprogramming I would like to do, and the second is how do we do it. You've already caught the what. The intrinsic rewards are more satisfying than external ones, and I would agree with that. External ones are important for survival. They can be important for survival. So there's a difference between survival. Survival is a different paradigm, and happiness is a different paradigm. And they're related to each other, of course. They're not unrelated. If survival is threatened, you cannot be happy. But if survival is guaranteed, happiness is not guaranteed. We all experience that. We know that. We don't need proof of that. Our own lives tell us that. So we have to see very clearly what is it that we need for survival, and whatever external rewards are needed for survival. There are not so many. Those are, you know, sort of easier to organize, at least for a group like this over here, which is not starting off with a lot of, uh, you know, um I assume, with a lot of injustices that have been sort of the beginning of life, uh, right? Now the challenge is to sort of free yourself from the hold of that culture that holds that external reward is important, and gives you value based on that. To free yourself, to liberate yourself from that. And one of the ways you're already doing is satsang, to be in the company of others who are also trying to liberate themselves from that programming, right? So even the Buddha talks of what the three things. I'm not a Buddhist, by the way. I'll take that example again and again because it's our legacy, right? It's a beautiful legacy we have. But the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. This is the Sangha. Dhamma is the analogy here would be the profound meaning that we are all discovering, right? And Buddha is the teacher. And we are all, again, we can be teachers to each other, or we can find people who are guides for us, who can mentor us, right? A more realized soul can help us. Just guide us. Walk तो हमें ही करना है. Reprogramming तो पल्लवी तुम्हें ही करना पड़ेगा. कोई और तो कर नहीं सकता तुम्हारी reprogramming. Initial programming दूसरों ने जरूर करी, because that was because you were a little, toddler who's easy to program. Right now, whatever we give to Alaya will program her, right? If she has childhood trauma, let's say we let her cry and don't give her food, maybe we can't, we don't have the money, that kind of thing she goes through. That childhood trauma will go and sit in her body. I read this lovely book called Body Keeps Score. Whatever you've experienced in life, it stays in your body. It's not in your mind as memory. You react bodily to it. There's biology behind it. And now neuroscience, biology, and those connections, we are discovering that through science, right? So as a child, what was programmed to you was easier done. हम कहते भी है ना, इनको संस्कार देने हैं, तो हम उनके अंदर प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हैं। बेसिकली संस्कार देने का मतलब ये है, प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हैं जो हमें ठीक लगता है। हमारे आप भी मिले होंगे उनसे, सदानंद जी। He says something really nice. I like it. We are all trying to colonize others to our good thoughts. We call them good and we colonize others, right? There's no, it's true for everyone. Everybody goes through that. Everybody gets, socialized. But when we grow up, that's the privilege we have. That if we want to, it's hard, it's not easy, but it's not impossible. Uh, with the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha, all three playing their roles, you can start your reprogramming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have a question, just similar question.
I'd
When
love it if you
said-
can switch on the video when, at least when you are speaking, so at least I can put a face to the voice, if it's possible, of course.
Although actually I'm traveling outside, so it's not possible to open camera right now. So just as, so can I begin?
Sure.
If you are comfortable, yeah. So my question is, when it said जो अच्छे के लिए होता है, how can we see this, especially in this political crisis, that जो होगा अच्छे के लिए होगा? I mean, the present is destroying, and how we can see good in this? I mean, the story narrated. I mean, how we resonate both of them together. So I hope I'm clear. Or do I need to?
Yeah, kind of.
Elaborate
पहले
more.
थोड़ा muffled था, but I think I get the drift of your question. अब मैं वो चाइनीज स्टोरी सुना ही देता हूँ, विभूति यहाँ पे अच्छी फिट बैठती है, ठीक है। तो एक चाइनीज फार्मर था, he was known as very wise, and वहां पे घोड़े के साथ फार्मिंग करते हैं, और at least in his village, and this is supposed to be a very old Chinese story, by the way, maybe from the time of the Buddha, 2500 years. तो उसके पास एक बहुत ही सुंदर और बहुत ही बढ़िया एक घोड़ा था, जो was the talk of the, not the talk of the town because he didn't live in a town, but talk of the villages in a 50-kilometer radius. Everybody knew about this horse. It's too good, very good horse. They were like, people were jealous of him also. पर एक दिन क्या हुआ कि वो अस्तबल खुला रह गया और हॉर्स गायब हो गया, और ये खबर भी आग की तरह फैल गई पूरे 50 किलोमीटर रेडियस में। तो पड़ोसी आए और पड़ोसियों ने अफसोस जताया कि आपका अस्तबल खुला रह गया, आपका घोड़ा भाग गया, कितने दुख की बात है, कितना बुरा हुआ ना। तो वो तो वाइज फार्मर था, चाइनीज फार्मर था, वाइज था, तो बोला हाँ शायद। तो उन्होंने सोचा एक कैसा अजीब आदमी है, हाँ शायद बोल रहा है, इतनी खराब चीज हुई है, ऐसे ही है, थोड़ा सन की है, छोड़ो, चले गए वो। अभी क्या हुआ कि अब वो अस्तबल को लॉक ही नहीं करते थे, क्योंकि और तो कुछ था नहीं उनके पास, तो अब क्या बचाना। तो ऐसे 5-6 दिन बाद उसका बेटा वहां से गुजरा अस्तबल के सामने से, तो वहां पे उसको कुछ आवाजें आई अस्तबल के अंदर से। उसने अंदर झांक के देखा, तो अंदर एक नहीं 5 घोड़े थे। इनका एक घोड़ा भी लौट आया और 4 वाइल्ड घोड़ों को भी साथ ले आया। कैसे दोस्ती हो जाती है, और वो चरते चरते आ गया, ये भी आ गए। तो अब इनके एक के 5 हो गए। तो ये खबर भी गांव में तो बड़ी जल्दी फैलती है, तो फैल गई। तो पड़ोसी आए, बोले अरे वाह, ये तो बड़ा अच्छा हुआ कि आपका घोड़ा भाग गया, क्योंकि ना वो भागता ना 4 और लेके आता, आपके तो 5 गुना हो गए, तो कितना अच्छा हुआ नहीं। तो फार्मर ने क्या बोला, हाँ शायद। अच्छा, फिर क्या हुआ कि 2-3 दिन बाद बेटे ने सोचा मैं घोड़े को टेम करता हूँ, एक एक करके सब घोड़ों को टेम करना, तभी तो काम आएंगे। तो उसने एक घोड़ा चुना, उसके ऊपर वो बैठा और खूब उसको करने की कोशिश कर रहा था। उसने इतनी उछाले मारी, इतनी उछाले मारी कि वो नीचे गिर गया और बुरी तरीके से टांग टूट गई, उसकी फ्रैक्चर हो गया। अब वो ऐसा टाइम था कि कोई हॉस्पिटल तो थे नहीं, फ्रैक्चर जुड़ेगा नहीं जुड़ेगा यही नहीं पता। तो ये खबर भी फैल गई, पड़ोसी आए, ओहो कितना बुरा हुआ, वो घोड़ा भाग गया वो तो बुरा हुआ, लेकिन और घोड़े ले आया वो तो अच्छा ही हो गया। लेकिन वो जो घोड़े आ गए उससे टांग टूट गई बेटे की, वो तो बुरा ही हो गया। तो इवेंचुअली तो बुरी चीज हुई ना, राइट, अच्छी चीज थोड़ी हुई। तो किसान का जवाब क्या था, हाँ शायद। फिर क्या हुआ कि वॉर हो गया, चाइना के एम्परर और चाइना और कहीं और का वॉर हो गया तो चाइना के एम्परर ने सोचा कि मैं आई नीड अ बिगर आर्मी. उसने फोर्स कंस्क्रिप्शन, सब वहां सोल्जर्स आए, बोले सारे यंग मैन बिटवीन द एज ऑफ 18 एंड 45 सारे आ जाओ, फोर्स टू जॉइन द चाइनीज आर्मी. रो रो के लोगों ने अपने बच्चों को भेजा, क्योंकि उस समय के वॉर में क्या होता था, कोई खबर नहीं, वो तो गया, तो यू जस्ट इमेजिन कि कभी वापस नहीं आने वाला, राइट. सो दे जस्ट सेंट देयर चिल्ड्रन ऑफ. एंड फिर उन्होंने जाके घर घर तलाशी ली, कौन से लोग छुपा के रखे, जो ने देखा छुपे हुए हैं उनको और सजा करी, और उनको भी लेके पकड़ के ले गए. इनके घर आए तो इसको देखा, उसको बोला चलो तुम ऐसे कैसे छुपे हो, तो वो बोला तो टांग टूटी. उन्होंने चेक किया, टांग टूटी. होने का ये तो बेकार है, तो सोल्जर नहीं हो सकता, तुम घर रहो. तो उसकी जान बच गई टांग टूटने की. रिमाइंड्स यू ऑफ दैट स्टोरी ना. जो होता है अच्छे के लिए. तो उसी का बेटा बच गया, और नेबर्स सारे आए कि तो बहुत अच्छा हुआ कि घोड़ा भाग गया, फिर ये हुआ, फिर ये हुआ, राइट. सो सी, वी विल, let us distinguish two things. I'm just saying we, because I don't know your name. We, let us keep two things clearly separate. One is, human beings will always evaluate things whether they're good or not, and they will respond to that, and that's how it is supposed to be. That's our design. मैं भी ऐसे ही रिस्पॉन्ड करूंगा ना. अगर मेरे कोई बीमार होगा तो मैं उसको बुरा मानूंगा, उसको ठीक करने जाऊंगा, राइट. और हो सकता है वो जाने की वजह से पीछे से अर्थक्वेक आ गया और घर पूरा ढह गया और हम सब बच गए, तो उसका बीमार होना अच्छी चीज हो जाएगी. बट आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू थिंक अबाउट दैट. आई एम गोइंग टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द पर्सन बीइंग बीमार. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू थिंक अबाउट, oh, that's a good thing, right. But at the same time, if I step back and look at the whole scene, can we really say that something is good or bad, because we've not seen the whole thing play out? There's a kind of a apocryphal story ascribed to Chairman Mao, who was asked what was the effect of the French Revolution. Now remember, French Revolution was 1789, and Chairman Mao was whatever 60s, I think 1960s. तो 200 साल बाद की बात है, right? Chairman Mao से पूछा गया what was the effect of the French Revolution on world history. So Chairman Mao is reported to have responded with, it's too soon to tell. 200 साल हो गए अभी, it's too soon to tell what's its effect on the world history. Because the effect तो अभी भी चल रहा है, कभी रुकेगा थोड़ी. So who knows, I also think these are very bleak times, but maybe there's a lot of consciousness that emerges now. I'm just saying maybe because I don't know, right? That says कि ये बहुत बड़ा danger है, इससे हमें अपने देश को बचाना है, right? And then we remain conscious about it. I think in many ways we just took a diverse country will stay together for granted after we got independence. We had a lot more work to do to really connect up with each other. Right? जैसे वो प्रवाकस समझौतो टाइप का प्रोग्राम है. Why shouldn't governments be doing it at a huge scale? Knowing that we need this kind of we just had slogans like national integration. Well, just slogans. How much were we doing around it? We also have to do the doings, not just talk empty words. So maybe this is what it will lead to, who knows? But we have to react. React is not the right word. We have to respond with what is happening now. And yet we can't take it as too bleak, because who knows what will emerge from this? Maybe something positive.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you, Vikas, for asking the question. Also wanted to bring in another question that somebody, I think Divas asked in the form, and we had also in mind, was our relationship with our own privilege. So at one level, it can create, for at least people in this group, a kind of guilt, oh, I am so privileged, and most of the country, most of the world is not as privileged as I am. And privilege can be of any kind. Not just socio-economic, cultural, educational and other types. And another thing could be like we begin to indulge in it, you know, find comfort in it, or use it, or kind of also use it for the service of the larger whole. But this kind of this, how does one relate to it and then find a very meaningful way to engage with it also, is a kind of a balance that all of us need to strike. And for you who had a certain privilege, socio-economic, being in Delhi, going through a certain kind of education, and then, you know, choosing the choice to be able to choose your own life path, etc., you know, you responded in a certain way, and even continue to respond. So how do you view, how do we cultivate a very healthy relationship with our privilege, not indulging in it, yet not feeling guilty about it, but also kind of using it in the service of the whole?
Well, I do feel guilty about my privilege. So it's like I don't. In the sense that, you know, I'm on the sort of enjoying side of injustice. That's accepted as okay. So there's also injustice that isn't accepted as okay, right? But there's injustice that is accepted as okay. For instance, uh, we all know it's a matter of chance, or at least we may have religious beliefs that may say otherwise, but at least if it's neutral of those beliefs, the house we are born in is completely accidental. The parents we are born to is completely accidental. I'm starting with that premise. People can challenge that and say, no, it is not accidental because karma decides. So now you know that I'm not a Buddhist. Yeah. So it's accidental, right? Now, so there'll always be that difference, which is injustice. It's not just, it's not equal. But there's two aspects to it. There is the side which is, I mean, this is accepted, and then there is also the fact that if you're on the benefiting side of it, we rarely feel upset when we're on the benefiting side of it. What is more upsetting is when we're on the losing side of it, right? But so I like the way you said, Shashank, that privilege has so many different forms. And of course, socio-economic privilege is the most visible and the biggest. And of course, but it's also gender, it's also which country. All of those are there. Uh, but you can go subtler and subtler, and you can see the kind of beliefs your parents have can create privileges for you. Uh, in my case, my father's, created a lot of privilege for me. But also my father, not just beliefs, but also their own fears, anxieties can take away your privilege. So that's another side to it. My father was overprotective because he was always worried about something would go wrong. So I felt very sort of. I felt my cousins were more privileged because they had the freedom to travel around in a TTC bus, which I didn't have. Now, who sees that as privilege? But I saw it as a privilege when I was a child. जाने नहीं देते कहीं अपने आप से, right? So freedom. I think that's another thing I want to touch upon in this question, because I think it has a direct relevance to the point about using your privilege. What does privilege do really? It gives you certain kind of freedom. है ना, socio-economic भी वही करता है, money भी करता है, which compared to someone else who doesn't have that privilege, you have more freedom to make those choices. But freedom के और भी आयाम है, अगर हम उसको बड़े ध्यान से देखें, if we start to indulge in a privilege, it's a trap. It's a trap that takes away your freedom. Right? A lot of people believe that if I have money, I'll have freedom. But when you actually experience, that life, when you've earned a lot of money and you're caught up in many things just to, be in that same spot. तो एक्चुअली आपकी फ्रीडम बहुत कम होती है, और जब कॉलेज में हमारे पास बहुत कम पैसे होते हैं शायद हम ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं फ्रीडम, राइट? मेरा पर्सनल एक आई डोंट नो, फ्रीडम वाज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड, एंड दिस इज हाउ आई सॉ इट. Let me share this. Okay. One very disappointing thing for me was in '89 I was 20 years old and I went to Srinagar for the first time. uh, I was part of ISEC, International Association of Students in Economics and Management, and they were wanting to do a program there, and the exam time बहुत पास था, और they said we need someone to go there to check out sort of facilities there. Should we, whatever, there was some work to, should we pitch for the national conference of ISEC there. So nobody else wanted to go because of the exam. I thought this was an amazing opportunity. Let me say yes and go. So I went. So of course I went to see the houseboats. And in my imagination, for me, the houseboats were like, uh, they, any day they want, any time they want, they can move and anchor somewhere else. And when they want, they can move and anchor somewhere else. That's the whole point of being on a boat, right? Otherwise, why would you? So that's freedom, freedom of moving. I have to tell you, I was so disappointed when I went there and I realized that they can't move. They're fixed where they are. And that's because बिजली भी तो चाहिए. अब बिजली की तारे आ रही है तो आप छोड़ के कहीं थोड़ी चले जाओगे. तो द रियलिटीज ऑफ लाइफ हिट यू. और आपका सीवेज जाना है. पहले तो सीवेज ऐसे ही छोड़ देते थे, पर अब वो जाना है, तो वो सारे कनेक्शंस हुए हैं. They were just stuck. They couldn't move. I was so sad to see that. Right? My own thinking around freedom was that, being footloose, being able to move was freedom. Being able to adjust to any situation gives you that freedom. So there's another story, and this I'm going back earlier. I think I was in 8th or 9th, and I remember this clearly. I mean, I still have a vivid image of that day. One of my aunts had come home, गर्मी के टाइम में दिल्ली में, और तब तो पंखे ही होते थे हमारे घरों में, और तो कुछ था नहीं. तो लाइट चली गई, और लाइट जाती है तो पंखा कट की आवाज करता है ना, हल्की सी, एंड यू नो कि गई. अभी पंखा रुका नहीं है, तो वो कट की आवाज आई, एंड दिस आंट ऑफ माइन स्टार्टेड सेइंग हाई गर्मी, हाई गर्मी, हाई गर्मी, हाई गर्मी, हाई गर्मी, लाइक शी वेंट ऑन एंड ऑन. एंड आई वाज सिटिंग देयर, दिस sort of 12 13 year old boy, looking at her and saying, मेरा भी ये हाल हो जाएगा, मैं पंखे का इतना आदी हो जाऊंगा तो फ्रीडम नहीं है इसमें, मेरी फ्रीडम चली जाएगी, तो मुझे आदी नहीं होना पंखे का. सो आई डिसाइडेड देन कि मैं ना अब 1 साल बगैर पंखे के रहता हूँ दिल्ली में, ताकि मेरी वो बन जाए. तो वो आज तक मेरे को बहुत हेल्प करती है. लाइट जाती है, सब हाय तौबा शुरू कर देते हैं, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. खैर अब तो लाइट के भी प्रॉब्लम लोगों ने सॉल्व कर दी, जनरेटर आ गए, इन्वर्टर आ गए, तो कुछ भी हमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए. पर आई डोंट सी दैट इज फ्रीडम. आप और तामझाम में फंसते जाते हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि डू योरसेल्फ दिस sort of, I would call it wise selfishness. Don't fall into the trap of indulging your privilege, because आप जब उसमें पूरा इंडल्ज करोगे तो हायर ऑर्डर, हायर लेवल की नीड बन जाएगी, वो ट्रैप बन जाएगा, और आपकी फ्रीडम चली जाएगी, क्योंकि उसके बगैर आप रह नहीं सकते. तो किसका नुकसान हो? खुद का. Whereas if you see it in the other way, अच्छा इसने मेरे को फ्री कर, जैसे मेरे केस में क्या, I have not needed to earn for a living. I think it's a huge privilege, but it is a huge privilege combined with not too many material desires. तो वो कॉम्बिनेशन में बहुत बेनिफिशियल है, वो अकेले में कुछ खास फायदे का है नहीं, क्योंकि फिर तो आपकी चाहते भी, वो किसी ने बड़ी सुंदर एक लाइन बोली थी कि जिंदगी तो आसान है, वो तो बोझ तो ख्वाहिशों का है, अरमानों का है. जिंदगी तो बहुत सरल है, लेकिन बोझ तो अरमानों का है. तो वो बोझ उठा के क्यों हम लाद के घूम रहे हैं? आई थिंक this is just about thinking through what do we really need and what do we really value and what price are we willing to pay for it. कभी कभी लोग मुझे कहते हैं you sacrifice by not taking advantage of your IMA degree to earn a lot. मुझे तो लगता है कि जो लोग कॉर्पोरेट में लग गए, बहुत बहुत ज्यादा उनका सैक्रिफाइस है. उन्होंने अपनी पूरी फ्रीडम सैक्रिफाइस कर दी, प्राइसलेस। काफी बड़ा सैक्रिफाइस है उनका। मेरा तो कोई सैक्रिफाइस ही नहीं है, मैं तो बड़ा स्वार्थी हूँ, मैं अपनी पूरी फ्रीडम बचा के रखी है कि मेरा टाइम है, जो मैं करना चाहूँ कर सकता हूँ। आई एम नॉट इन दिस, आई फ्रीड माई सेल्फ फ्रॉम स्लेवरी। दिस अ मॉडर्न फॉर्म ऑफ स्लेवरी। टाइम ही नहीं है उनके पास कुछ भी करने का दैट इज वैल्यूएबल टू देम। और उनका तरीका बड़ा अच्छा है, या तो आपको जॉब ही नहीं देंगे, या आपका मतलब खून पसीना सब सक कर लेंगे और खूब पैसे दे देंगे। ये लो पैसे, अब तुम बन जाओ मेरे स्लेव, खरीद दिया हमने तुम्हें। और हम उसमें जाके सोचते हैं कि हमने अपनी डिसीजन ली है और ये व्यक्ति सैक्रिफाइस कर रहा है, वो सैक्रिफाइस तो वो कर रहा है। आई डोंट नो इफ आई हैव आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन, मैं तो अपने ट्रिप पे चला गया। शशांक,
Thank you. You definitely opened it up a bit more, but there's a lot more to also discover. Also, almost 8:30 हो गए. Where do you have any margin, or is it you got to leave at 8:30?
I'll have to ask Neha.
Okay.
वैसे तो I have to join something at 8:30, but Neha maybe can check it out and tell me.
Sure.
Are you listening, Neha?
Yes, I am.
What do you think?
I'll go log in and then you join when you can.
ठीक है, और मुझे थोड़ा मैसेज कर देना, so I know
Okay.
कि मुझे जल्दी आना है, क्या करना है।
ठीक है.
ठीक है, let's do a little more.
हाँ, we'll not extend a little, मतलब a lot. Just a few questions that are already there. So I know Shravan, Shrutika, and Chitra have questions. So Shravan, if you want to ask.
Yeah, I'm not reading chat at all, huh? क्योंकि I'm just paying attention to.
Yes.
रवि जी, गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening.
मेरा नाम श्रवण है और मैं साउथ बिहार में एक संस्था चलाता हूँ अपने 3 साल।
मैं रवि से मिला हुआ हूँ, श्रवण,
जी।
और आपका नाम भी सुना हुआ है।
जी, तो मैं बेसिकली ये क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता था, जैसे हम भी युवाओं के साथ काम करते हैं, पर मेरे मन में ये हमेशा चलते रहता है कि हम जो भी पहुंचे, यहाँ पे पहुंचे, वो अपने 8-10 साल का एक जर्नी रहा, ऊपर खाए, कुछ किए और फिर यहाँ पहुंचे। हम जब एक संस्था के रूप में कोई प्रोग्राम चलाते हैं, जैसे हमारी संस्था भी जो प्रोग्राम चलाती है, तो बार बार मेरे मन में ये चलते रहता है कि ऐसा क्या हो कि वो जर्नी जो हम अपने खुद से बने, अपने टकराव से या अपने गिर पर के पहुंचे, तो उसका रहे, ध्यान रहे, मतलब हम कुछ इस मोड में ना चले जाएं कि हमने कुछ एक डिजाइन कर दिया है, उससे कुछ लोग निकल रहे हैं और हमसे कुछ आशा कर रहे हैं कि ये होगा उनमें। तो एक कैसे संजीदा रह सकें जो हम काम कर रहे हैं उसके प्रति, आप इतने सालों से हैं, संजीदगी कैसे हो कि हम हमेशा अवेयर रहें कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं और कैसे इसको मतलब जो है तरीका उस तरीके से कर सकते हैं।
आई थिंक ये अवेयरनेस तो एक आदत ही बन जाती है ना, फिर आप उन चीजों को सोचते हैं तो फिर वो चीजें आपको दिख ही जाती है, आप अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते। तो मुझे तो यही लगता है कि अगर हम अपने को क्वेश्चन करने का, हेल्दी ह्यूमिलिटी बहुत यूजफुल होती है, राइट, एंड वी ऑल नो दैट। ठीक है, हम अगर अपने आप को मतलब खुद ज्यादा ही ज्ञानी समझने लगे हैं और ज्यादा ही सब कुछ हमारे पास आंसर है, तो हमारा ही नुकसान होता है, क्योंकि वेयर इज द रूम टू रिसीव मोर। वो भी एक पुरानी स्टोरी है ना, वो जेन मास्टर से वो सीखने जाता है, एम्प्टी द कप जहां से आती है। लेट मी नॉट रिपीट ऑल दी स्टोरीज, सम ऑफ दी स्टोरीज यू मे हैव हर्ड, राइट। तो वो आई थिंक दैट जस्ट लुकिंग एट आवरसेल्व्स कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं, वो ठीक भी है कि नहीं, एंड ऑलवेज गोइंग बैक टू फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल्स, जो आपको ये दिखा देंगे कि ये रियली हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पे। बिकॉज अदरवाइज तामझाम बनाने में तो इंसान उस्ताद है, वो इतनी चीजें निट अप कर देता है, फिर उसको ही रियलिटी समझने लगता है ना। लेकिन रियलिटी तो उसके नीचे अब छुप गई, आपने ऊपर खूब जाल बिछा दिए। तो ऑलवेज कीप गोइंग डाउन टू दैट फाउंडेशनल थिंग, दैट्स ऑल आई कैन से। आई थिंक इट relate to the other as that is me. So you see in that child in front of you, your fellow, that you could have been there, what would go on for you. Those are the things I think that keep you uh, rooted to the ground and not in your own, मतलब उड़ने नहीं लगे. Of course we'll be meeting people, मतलब जिस position पे आप है, you'll be meeting funders and you'll be meeting high kind of talking people, boasting people, वो सब होगा. पर अगर हम ये ध्यान देते रहे, हाँ, इनकी बोस्टिंग की आदत है, तो मेरी ना बन जाए. जैसे मैंने अपनी आंट को देख के कहा, इनको गर्मी लगने की आदत है, मेरी ना बन जाए. फिर मैं भी फंस जाऊंगा, राइट. तो अगर उस तरीके से हम थोड़ा देखते रहेंगे तो हम बचे रहेंगे. और साथ में कुछ ऐसे लोग रखें अपने, वो कबीर कहते हैं ना, निंदक नियरे राखिए. तो ऐसे दोस्त हो, क्योंकि दोस्त और चापलूस में कोई अंतर तो होना चाहिए. अगर हमें ये चाहिए कि हमारी बढ़ाई करते रहे तो फिर दोस्त का हो, तो चापलूस हो गए. तो अगर ऐसे दोस्त रखेंगे तो वो आपको रवि धानुका बोलेगा कुछ, आप उसको कुछ बोलेंगे, नीचे खींचते रहे, धरती पे लाते रहे. तो आई थिंक इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दीज. नहीं,
हाँ बिल्कुल.
थैंक यू श्रवण फॉर योर क्वेश्चन. भैया आप चैट में देखेंगे तो चित्रा का भी एक सवाल है. चित्रा, वुड यू लाइक टू शेयर इन योर ओन वॉइस योर क्वेश्चन एंड आस्क? ओके, आई विल रीड.
मैंने पढ़ लिया.
हाँ जी.
तो आई कैन हेल्प यू सेव टाइम, हेल्प मी सेव टाइम. या सी, आई थिंक जितने लोग हैं उतनी जर्नीज है. तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये होना ही जरूरी है तभी आप वहां जाएंगे. इसके बगैर भी हो सकता है आगे चले जाए. या आई थिंक देयर इज अ it's a real problem, this self righteousness. और मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मेरे में नहीं है, मेरे में भी आती है. आज ही मैं अपनी भाभी के साथ वॉक कर रहा था, मैं उनको बता रहा था कि यू नो, it's not helpful to be judgmental, but I'm judgmental. But I'm trying to keep that aside while I'm talking or something, right? So again, awareness I think is one way that इनको आप contradictions को कैसे carry कर सकते हो, because as human beings we will have contradictions all the time, right? आपके जो idealism होगा, वो idealism ही इसलिए because वो practical नहीं है. तो वही एक contradiction आ गई. तो इसका मतलब क्या, आइडियलिज्म को छोड़ दें और प्रैक्टिकल बन जाएं? क्या इसका मतलब ये है कि आइडियलिज्म को पाले रखें और प्रैक्टिकल हो ही ना, कुछ कर ही ना पाए, सिर्फ शब्दों में रहें? It's a creative tension between these things, right? And that creative tension is what we have to walk on. That is the रस्सी on which we are walking as a nut. नट की तरह बैलेंस कर रहे हैं अपने आप को. तो I would say कि as you are aware of this, that helps you. Those who are not aware of it, it'll be harder, because उसमें हमारे अंदर ये चीजें होंगी कि हमको सेल्फ राइचियसनेस आएगी और हमें पता ही नहीं चलेगा. हमें लगेगा नहीं सेल्फ राइचियस है, हमें लगेगा कि ये तो है ही सही चीज और सबको इस पे आना चाहिए. और कौन कहता है ये सही चीज? ये मेरी उपज है, राइट? मेरी सोच की उपज है, या शायद मेरी भी नहीं है. शायद ये, जैसे अभी एक रिसेंटली एक्सरसाइज में अनीशा जो तुम थी, जो मैंने वो स्टोरी पढ़ी ऑफ दैट रेवरेंड, कि मैंने अपने घर की एक ड्रॉर खोली और उसमें इतना कुछ मिला, मैं कब लाई ये सब चीजें, मुझे पता ही नहीं है. तो ऐसे ही कुछ है हमारे अंदर, बहुत सारे कंडीशनिंग जो हमारी हुई है. दैट इज नॉट कम फ्रॉम माई ओन थिंकिंग, दैट इज कम फ्रॉम माई कल्चर, दैट इज माई मदर्स कंडीशनिंग, दैट इज माई सोसाइटीज कंडीशनिंग, दैट्स माई कल्चर्स कंडीशनिंग. दैट कम्स टू मी, विरासत की तरह अंदर आ जाती है. तो हमारे पास मौका है उसको देखने का, अगर हम थोड़ा रुकें और उसको उठा उठा कर देखें. जैसे गाय जुगाली करती है ना, पहले पेट में पूरा डाल देती है, वो तो हमारा हो चुका कंडीशनिंग. अब हम बैठ गए, अब हम उसको बाहर निकालते हैं पेट से ऊपर, और उसको अब हम थोड़ा फिर से जुगाली करते हैं. लेट्स च्यू ऑन इट, लेट्स सी, डज इट मेक सेंस in the context that I'm in the realities that I've seen, and make those mine again or not, or jettison them, right? Choose to keep them or choose to throw them, not useful anymore. तो ये उससे ये करे तो दिखता है कि there are many different ways of looking at life, and they all have, not all, but enough of them have enough compelling sort of logic behind it. And as we appreciate that, uh, I'm not talking of moral relativism. Okay, everything is okay, everything is good. But at the same time, there is no absolutism either. We know that. So if we want to be honest, every question about life, strong question about life, that the answer would be like it depends. It can't be a very clear cut answer. It's very contextual. Us context may something makes sense. So uh, yeah, I think it's a real problem. Self righteousness. I can see it because मेरे अंदर भी होती है बहुत. Yeah. अब देखो मेरी विडंबना मैं अपनी बता देता हूँ. सालों से मैं ये कहता आया हूँ, जो भी मेरे दोस्त जिनके बच्चे हुए हैं, कि तुम अपने बच्चों को दिल्ली में पालोगे. मतलब हाउ क्रूअल कैन यू बी. इस गैस चेम्बर में तुम उनको सांस दिलवाओगे, उनके नन्हे नन्हे कोमल कोमल लंग्स में ये पॉइजन भरोगे. And children breathe in a lot more in proportion of air than we do, right? Because they're growing and their lungs are small. तो कितना उनको हार्म होगा. अगर आपको बच्चे करने हैं तो पहले दिल्ली छोड़ने का फैसला लो. दिल्ली में रहते हुए बच्चे करना बिल्कुल गलत है. अब मैं उसी स्थिति में आ गया हूँ. And Alaya has to breathe here. Or actually, I'm seriously thinking, can we do something? Can we go away? Can I leave Manzil and do that? I say online has offered for the first time a possibility. अभी सब कुछ online कर रहे तो मैं भी कहीं से भी कर सकता. So all this is going on in my head. But it's already been 7 months. She's 7 months old and she's been breathing Delhi air. We've not gone out. Right? तो वो कहाँ गई वो सारी self righteousness? धूल चाट रही है ना? अब इसको देखूंगा तो मुझे अपने पे हंसी आएगी और शायद आगे थोड़ी सी कम हो जाएगी. I think enough. I don't need to say more about this. I think I've answered as best as I can your question.
Thank you so much, Ravivia. Thank you, Chitra, for your question, and everybody else for your questions and listening and attention and presence. भैया बहुत मजा आया. I think वही है 1.5 घंटा, बहुत कम भी लगा और बहुत ज्यादा भी लगा. So thank you for your time and taking us through, I think, through experiences, stories, how you make meaning, how you make sense of many things that have happened in your life. And in a way, giving us a little bit of uh, like a guidance, like you said, that walk to hame khud hi karna hai, but a guidance. Like I always feel that it is on the shoulders of elders that we stand and see the world. So I think with you sharing so vulnerably, even the last thing that you shared, really is such a beautiful thing to just stand on your shoulders and see. Baki jahan chalna hai, jahan dekhna hai, that's up to us. Thank you for that. I hope it was very meaningful for each one of us. We can maybe, can we give your email address? Or I mean, we would love to hear any of your reflections, takeaways, either on the chat or later, and we would share it forward to Ravi Bhaiya. He really likes to receive what actually people heard, what struck them, what did they take away. So if any of that, any reflections, any thoughts that have really come in, please do share. There are some.
Yeah, that would be a gift. And if you disagree with something, say that as well. That
Yes.
would be lovely to hear as well, your reasons. If you disagree vehemently, that's also welcome. And if you agree, that's of course what connects, something new, some insight, something that you felt, oh wow, that's an interesting way of looking at it. All of this is very useful, I would say, makes it a dialogue in a way, which the format here didn't allow as much, and it's always a challenge with a large number of people, but at least it'll make up for some of that.
Right. Thank you, Via. We'll again meet. We'll again organize another satsang with another elder on the next full moon, which is we'll try for July 23rd. But एक आध दिन ऊपर नीचे हम adjust कर लेते हैं. So we'll keep sharing like the notification about that on different media. Thank you so much, Via. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. The room is open if anybody wants to hang out and just talk a little or share anything. We can keep it open maybe for 5-10 minutes, Anisha.
Yeah, I'll just stop the recording.
Sure.
If anyone wants to gossip, it doesn't get recorded.